I am basically using AI coding tools like Claude Code to program my game. I don't code anything by hand, but I just instruct it. Probably my favorite thing about being indie, you don't have to check in with other people when you want to pivot. I decided that I wanted to really nail down the intro scene for how you acquire your party members. So here's what I have for how do you get your initial party group. So I'm going to maximize this so you can see. Now, this whole scene is designed for the Steam demo that I am focused on. My game is going to first come out as a demo. From my understanding, that would be a great way for me to build up some wish lists. One of the things that I decided early on is, as a developer, I'm not going to go for the virality strategy where you go viral and that's how you build your wish list. I don't even know how to even start with the viral stuff. So my approach is slow and steady. And a good way, from my understanding, to do that is launching a demo. So you'll see here, the play screen, there's a wish list, there's an option, there's a quit. So right now, the only thing that's kind of working is the play button. So when I press play, we go here and you see the intro screen. Right now, I can hatch 3 eggs. So I go 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then this is going to be my party member. So when I proceed, now you go into the game immediately. Before, when I just press play, you just go straight to the scene. Now there's an intro scene where you go through some sort of flow for hatching your party members. If you've been following along, you'll see the UI looks different. A lot of the cards look different as well. Functionally, a lot of it has been just adding clarity to what the game's all about. For example, you'll see this dino here. There's a red background. That means that it can only use the red cards. So this one's red. Play this red card. It goes on this one. And then blue one goes on the blue. I think one of the things that I've been really trying to figure out, the marketing side of things, the goal is to put this on Steam. I'm going to release a demo first. And a lot of the delays between the last video and this video was just me trying to figure out like the marketing stuff. I'm a artist / developer. The marketing is very foreign to me, but from my understanding, it's a very important part of selling anything when it comes down to games. So a lot of my time has been spent on that. Hopefully, by the time I edit this video and launch it, I'll be able to share the Steam page for this game. So if you're interested to wishlist it, check the description of the video. I am building a game that for me, it'd be fun to build, but at the same time, I have to keep reminding myself that I need to market as I go, because as I've been doing research on how indie developers basically create games and then sell it, a lot of the very successful ones have like a make the game and go viral, as in like do something that gets a lot of attention. And yeah, I've never done that before. So I'm trying the next best thing is just launch whatever the Steam page that I need and just trying to use YouTube and then adjust as I go, right? Like, because in the end, I want it to be something that I share and have people play and give feedback on. A big part of what's next is for me to just go fully focused on the demo, because I really want to get some eyes on it and get some feedback on how does the gameplay feel and what suggestions other people have. So there's going to be a lot of balancing stuff that I need to do that really can only be done through some sort of testing. The features that I'm working on are very focused on what is the minimum stuff that I need to have a fun game to play, but all the feedback mechanisms are in place so that players who are playing it can give me feedback on what's working, what isn't, what's broken, what's a bug. And hopefully if I do that for hopefully like, I don't know, 5 months, 4 months, I'm just a solo person. So if there's a lot of bugs that come in or feature requests that I find that they're interesting to add, it just takes me a little bit to actually implement them. So that's why I say 5 months, because it's a solo operation. So for example, if you look at these cards, the art on them, I paint some of them, and then I use ChatGPT for some of the illustrations. So what I usually end up doing is I ask it for specific elements, and then I composite it in Photoshop, paint and edit it myself if I want an exact look. There have been some cards that I've created all myself, but even though I know how to paint it myself by hand, it's just if ChatGPT can get me 80% there and the last bit I can fix myself. I prefer to do it that way. Originally, when I was starting, it was a bit more novel to talk about, hey, all my code is generated through Claude Code. One of the interesting side effects of just using so much AI coding is when I started this, I didn't consider myself much of a programmer. Even though I'm not programming physically, I just feel like after 4 months of just nonstop using this stuff, as I'm approaching like 1,000 hours of usage, I'm starting to try to verbalize a little bit differently. Where before I would say, oh, non programmer using Claude Code. If I try to think about where I started when I first started using these tools, I know so much more about programming good architecture, not like a professional level, but to crawl ahead, you kind of have to learn. So I'm trying to figure out new terminology to use, because anytime I say like I'm just an artist and I'm using Claude Code, the impression it gives to the viewer, for some viewers, is like, oh, you have no idea what you're doing and you're just using a slot machine. To some extent, that's a little bit true. There is a skill to it. For me, I've just kind of been figuring it out as I go, and sometimes it's really painful. I think my first feature was one of the hardest features in this game. It was just getting all the card systems to work. The first month, it was very clear I had no idea what I was doing. But eventually, there was some sort of breakthrough that happened with using Claude Code that eventually just I figured out where the weaknesses are, how to second guess, triple guess, quadruple guess. You basically have to verify everything. The plans going forward, super focused on the demo. I need to finalize these nodes. So more enemy types. Right now, the enemies are just for testing, but I need to finish up all the nodes with proper store page or merchant store, all the stuff that you usually expect out of a roguelike deck builder. I feel like I need to create 2 more biomes. I'm really set on a volcano biome where there's lava and more red tones. But I need to make sure that the game's in a place where the testing is useful, where once I'm in a state where I'm like, oh, I don't know what's broken. Right now, there's just so much is broken. A lot of the feedback that I'll get is going to be stuff that I'm aware of. But I really am looking forward to that part where, one, it'll be really cool to get the game to a place where it's actually testable. Right now, you can test it, but I do feel like it's just missing a lot of clarity in the UI. I'm building the game, so I know where all the quirks are without needing UI to explain it to me. To give you a closer look, I added this button here. If I press it, you can kind of see the cave a little bit better. If you click it again, you zoom out. I don't know. I thought that was neat just to get a better look, but functionally it doesn't really have a purpose. I'm thinking I might add some stuff that you can collect throughout the map. You would start out the game with first having only one party member, and you can either scout the map or defeat enemies to potentially add new dinos to your party, but you can always skip it. So like if there is like a fire dino with a specific card set that you want, you can just target that throughout the gameplay. This kind of stuff I'm still working on, trying to see what's working, what's not, and it's all about the demo, because I feel like to just see what people who actually play the game and find it, what's working, what's not. I think that's the thing that's most exciting for me. So I've been working on this, I feel like, for 4 months or so, maybe a little bit longer. Just going back through my YouTube videos. So going by this, I hope that the demo can be in a good place and launched in hopefully 4 months. But again, it's kind of crazy because usually when on a regular team where you have multiple members, I feel a little bit more confident if I had more people working on this project with me. But I say 4 months, if I was just to double the amount of work that I've done so far, because everything here, like all the 3D art, I had to hand model, all the characters, all the rigging, all the animation. So if I'm able to do this in 4 months, I hope 4 months of similar kind of work, that the game would be fun enough to put a demo up. Because I don't want to put a demo up and you're like, hey, this thing kind of sucks. Because the reason why I went indie is to make a game that makes people brings joy. I've worked on so many games now, professional production settings. Fun always feels like it's like number 5 on the list. I'm pretty sure at an actual game studio, I saw that list where it was like priorities for their game, and fun was number 5. It's like part of me going indie is like, hey, I just want to put, for me, what I think is fun, put it number 1. The goal isn't to make. It seems like companies, it's like the goal for the companies that I don't like personally, is maximum money. Like extract as much money as you can. My thing is just I just want to make a game. It's not about just make all the money. Can I make a game that I made myself? I'm not going to throw this out. Goes back to another thing is I've been working in industry for like 11, 12 years, and you wouldn't know it because almost all the stuff that I've ever created, yes, they paid me a lot of money for it. It gets launched and then they close. The game doesn't make X amount of money, and they close it out. So one of the things that's kind of depressing is, given my background, I put a lot into the art that I create. And this game is cartoony, but I can make any art style that I want in 3D. You put a lot of yourself into it, but then you look back and like none of it is out. And if they are, it's very brief. I think 95% of the stuff that I've ever created never sees daylight. But the 5% that do, that's cool. Well, I think it's funny. Like I briefly worked on Sims 4 chat emoticons at like on their Steam store. I was only there for a few weeks before I moved to a different role at a different company. But that was one of the few things that I was there very briefly, but it was really cool to be at a place where the stuff that you work on actually got released. And to this day, if you go on Steam, the emoticons for Sims 4 in your chat window, I made those, which it was like, oh, that was cool, right? But that's the exception. Most of my experience comes from like working in like these very small companies you've never heard of. They make like mobile games stuff. And usually that's where you see a lot of the hyper focus on just extracting maximum money. Fun is somewhere like number 7. maybe fun is not even on the list, because if they could just be like money number 1, 2, money, just go down the list. And sometimes you can get into really dark patterns that way if you prioritize just money at all costs. So that's my long way of saying is I think that's the thing that I really like about just working on my own thing is I know that none of the stuff that I'm working on right now will get thrown out. I will finish this, and it's like you have control over the destiny of the stuff that you're working on. And for the longest time, I think the feeling that I had was like being really proud of something that I've created at a studio, and just being not sure if it'll ever get released. And I think I was okay with it in the beginning, but as I got older, I was just like, yeah, I'm a little bit tired of getting really excited and putting everything I got into something and then it not releasing. So this is going to release, I'm hoping, a demo 4 months from now. I'll be posting more on YouTube going forward. This last few weeks has been a little bit rough. The marketing stuff, it's stuff that I have to learn, but I don't really enjoy it, and it really just bogs down on my ability to work and create art. I'm going to add my Steam page. I threw this thing together really quickly. This Steam page does not reflect the game as it's going to be. The actual game, I don't plan on releasing it for a while. I'll be polishing and cleaning and changing this game for a while, but you will be able to play it as I do that. It'll be a demo. There's no one's paying for it, right? So this Steam page that I'm listing to is the game that's not a demo that's supposed to release in the far out future. The reason why I did this approach, where it's not some big announcement and stuff, I don't really have much experience with like the whole concept of going viral. I am testing the idea of just slowly building and just having fun with it, and not really relying on huge viral like marketing moments to build a wish list. We'll see if this works. If it doesn't, I'll change my strategy for my next game, right? But for the next year, this is where I'm leaning at. It feels like where my skill set is at right now. Yeah, hopefully that works out, but it'll be fine regardless. Check out the description, wish list. Thanks for watching. Yeah, take care.